Good morning, everyone, and happy Thirsty Thursday, June 3rd, 2022. I'm sorry I've been gone. I've not been well. I've been down. This is the 8th day. And by the grace of God, my remedies will arrive today to get this poison out of my body. I have swelling in this side. You can see it in my face today. I tested positive to all three of those and didn't get any of them. And this is what's happening this time around. I can barely move. I'm learning. I'm still learning. Found another, I was doing some pictures with some songs that kind of went together that I thought went together to put across a message on Instagram and the Facebook Reels and on my Facebook. So that's what I was, even though I was horizontal, I was doing that. I just wasn't physically capable of doing a video. The pain was just too great. And today it is, but I've already medicated. I've run out of my Delta 9, so I've still got to get some more of that. I remember the guys said that they could deliver it, so thank the Lord about delivery. That's the greatest invention in the world. So I'll be getting some more of that. In the meantime, I'm taking my liquid, which is elevating my mind's my thinking of ways to change this world, like at a level I didn't even know existed in my head. It's like insane. It's the greatest thing in the world. You guys have been smoking the dope the wrong way. Don't do it just to get high. Do it to enlighten yourself. Make your brain smarter. Is there some task in your life and you're like, why is this just not working? What's up with it? Or did you have this great idea and you sit there and you're like, hey, I got another. That's what that's for. I mean, yeah, you want to use it for recreation, so be it. But don't use it as a crutch either. I mean, they have all these laws about it, but how many people have been smoking the dope and hurt anyone? That I'm going to guess that'd be a zero. Now that's saying they only smoked dope. They did nothing else with it, like no other drugs. If they just smoked marijuana, weed, dope, which I call it, people that smoke the dope are happy people. So why would the government want it to be illegal everywhere? Sounds like they don't want us to be happy. That's the way I look at that, because everybody that I know that smokes dope is happy people. And in high school, I thought it was all bad, well, because I had a mother that was an RN. Remember, I learned at a young age. I didn't want drugs. I didn't like them. I didn't want them. But my mother made me put them in my body. So I've learned something through the years of what works and what doesn't work. And the amount of fear that this government continues to put on people, including about their health. No wonder people take mountains of drugs. My father would count them when I was taking them away because he didn't need them. And I got that confirmation when I finally got him into the VA. Yeah, I took him out of his pack because exactly what they said. It's like you've got your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. They don't work together. Yeah, you got that right. I mapped him out myself with one of my friends. He was, I called him Hot Jesus on the docks at Michigan City. Just was texting with him the other day. Scott, what a great guy. Got to meet some really cool people. Anyway, if people would just listen, it's a whole different world out there when you take a step back and you look at it at a different perspective. What are they trying to do? Scare the daylights out of you, control you, tax you to death. tell you lies, robe up in deception. That's what I'm calling it, in a court of law. And this is what started this whole thing today. And this is my first video since, I think it was the Thursday, the Ascension. I think this is my first video since the Ascension. I'll have to look, but I'm pretty certain that that's the truth. And it's because I was down and I talked to him. Am I supposed to do this? Nope, I'm supposed to. Okay, got it. So this really bothered me. Everybody gets them when you get jury duty. Attire. Appropriate attire is required. Shorts, tank tops, t-shirts, etc. are not appropriate in a court of law. You may wish to bring a sweater or jacket, as the courtrooms are air-conditioned. Well, you know what? If it were me, I would rather everybody dress the way they felt the most comfortable and who they really are as a person. I'm all about getting dressed up in a business suit, but I'm also about honor and integrity. And I'm sorry, they can robe up in a judge's robe and sit behind that beloved podium and sit at that chair with that mallet in his hand. But what about the robe of righteousness, that breastplate, and the belt of truth? You know, the one that they all signed up for? When they took that oath? Justice is finally starting to be served. Because we've had about enough of the corruption and deception. I know I have. I moved to Monroe County in February of 2021. And I have this True Social account, and I put 2020 because my dates kind of I get hiccups every once in a while because I had blood clots in my brain and I continue to test positive for these poisons. But anyway, I put 2020 on my True Social, and I can't go back and change it. I don't know where you edit it, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but I just wanted to put that out there because that was the truth. I put February of 2021 is what I meant, but it was 2020 because I was thinking I was in 21. It's still something I work on daily, constantly. I'm never idle unless I'm finally sleeping, and I don't even dream anymore because when I'm sleeping, he wants me to completely rest with nothing, silence, and it's the most restful sleep I've ever had in my life. So why not just put a costume on for Halloween and go to the courtroom? Wouldn't that be fun? It'd be really interesting what the judges would come up with, now wouldn't it? I don't know, just things that I think of when I've been horizontal for so long from their poisoning. That, oh, I haven't qualified for disability because I don't meet their criteria. I don't know what exactly is going to meet their criteria, and I'm not going to lie to do it. But everybody can see clearly. I'm not at liberty to be working. The little bits that I do around here is all I have been able to do ever since arriving. And even then it was difficult. For a very short period of time, I got this window that I felt well until I was poisoned again. So, have you ever thought about that in a court of law? Especially those who have been wronged by the system. I have. That's the one thing that was always great about watching Law and Order and all those fun movies. Is watching the actors and actresses and the ones that were really good and played a really good role, and the ones that were not very convincing of their role. My dad taught me well at a young age how to read people because he says, watch their face when they play cards. So think about that here. In our current state. I'm just saying, it's not hard. And we can stop it. But we can't be fighting against one another. We have to unite in love. If we don't unite in love, we can't beat them. And that's the one thing that we hold the strongest is his love. Because God is love. I mean, for Pete's sakes, he left us this beautiful love letter that in a court of law, and raise your right hand. No, how about like this? I promise to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I'm telling you, this is way more effective. He's been covered up long enough. It's about time he get out in the open. So I posted on my Facebook wall about this, and I had my books displayed exactly pretty much how he directed me, so to speak. Because I was like, oh, that doesn't go there. Got it. How's that? Chills? Good. Okay, we're good. I think I got chills. Not sure. I might not even be able to read what I wrote. But when you think about getting ready for work every day in any profession, even our police officers, when they suit up for battle every day and they put on their robe of corruption and their belt of lies and deception. You ever thought about that one? I did. And I do every day now. Because it's written all over their face. Just like that police officer that threw that ticket in my car because he couldn't face me. He knew what I was telling him was the truth. Because he saw it hanging around my neck and hanging from my rearview mirror. Just saying. He asked for my driver's license and never asked for my registration. He didn't know what to do. He just knew he had to give me a ticket. I got that loud and clear because my ticket wasn't $300 and some like everybody else's. It was the bare minimum. And according to him, I was driving 10 over. He didn't know how to get out of the corrupt system. I got that loud and clear because he followed me almost all the way. I get that now, but I didn't get that then. You have to take yourself out of the situation in order to see it clearly. You have to watch the body language. He was one of the good guys, and I pegged him for a bad one. But he knew I was a woman of God, and it was written all over my face. He did his duty under the corrupt system. How's that for a twist of fate? And I'm going to tell you, it probably has been eating at him ever since. Like, what am I doing? I can't keep doing this. How can people continue to deceive and live with themselves and suit up every day like they're out there to protect and serve? Instead, they're walking around all holier than thou. Just things I think about when I'm horizontal and people think I need to get a job. Well, how am I supposed to get a job? Who's going to pay me to work when I'm okay and I can work? I can work maybe 20 minutes and then I have to go take a 4-hour nap. Okay, well, you got two good hours out of me. Now I'm going to have to take 2 days off. It's that much for me. Everybody saw what I did at Green Acres. My body's wearing out. I can't do that anymore. When I did dirt out here, I did 3 bags, and that's all I could do in one day. I did wheelbarrows in Indiana. Just saying. My body can't do it anymore. It is too freaking weak. I have gone 100 miles an hour my whole life. And I've done broke my own wagon. And I know these remedies are helping keep me alive because my immune system is not up to par. It starts to get better. That's why this time around, I didn't feel like death like I did in October when I tested positive to all 3 of them. This time around, it's excruciating pain where my mobility is. All I'm doing is taking her outside. And I tidied up my room. And I finally had enough strength to take a shower today. And I did my little bit of dishes that I accumulated. These last several days I didn't have the strength to do them. So when you know God led you to a place like this, and then you hear of all the corruption and people being so orderly but so upset, and then others that you love dearly are one to leave, it broke my heart. Marathon is the heart of the Florida Keys. And I came from Elkhart, the city with a heart. And I'm sorry. But I'm going to do everything I can while I'm here on this earth to get both of their hearts beating again in a loving, non-corrupt manner. Because I know the deception is in Elkhart as well. And it just makes me sick. But it's taken me all this time to see it for what it is. Do my own research, do my own homework after what I've witnessed on my own. You think these cases on TV are make-believe? They don't have to make them up. There's so many cases out there, they can pick and choose what they want to put on that TV. Don't tell me those aren't messages. Don't you dare tell me those aren't factual. They may have changed them a little bit to not make them per whatever, but give me a freaking break. We're not stupid. We can see and read between the lines. So attire. Think about that. You ever thought about that one? A doctor gets suited up and puts on his white lab coat. Just like the one that used his own semen and never told anyone. Thought it was okay. Yeah, he put on his robe of deception. His belt of lies and deception. The justice system originally was written to protect the innocent. But time and time again, it's being rewritten. And it's always protecting the criminals. And they get off on a technicality. That's why the movie Double Jeopardy is such poetic justice. Because she was wronged by the system and then came back and justice was served. That's the system we're living in. That's not make-believe. That's real life. And it doesn't have to say at the end, based on a true story. Look the frick around, people. What is it going to take for you to stop lollygagging in your legs and pretending like the shit's not going on? With fuel prices skyrocketing and food shortages increasing, we got a big problem. And we can't let them be in charge of it. Now can we? Just saying. Those that are deceiving us and lying to us, how are they going to rescue us? They're not. He is. You know the one that wrote this book? Right, Hannah Grace? Yes. Right, Hannah Grace? Just saying. Think about it at work. I'm sure you could dress somebody up yourselves. Oh, I know my I know my friend Rachel would. She loves Halloween. That's her favorite holiday. She loves it. Just saying. It's funny the costumes I always selected. They were about me. My Wonder Woman costume. I did that for me. I didn't do it for anybody else. I did it for me. What an empowering thing to work my tail end off and do 2 and 3 insanity workouts a day, run and swim, and then go to work. Yeah, I worked 7 days a week for almost 18 and a half years. I didn't do it the full 18 and a half years, but throughout 18 and a half years, I worked 7 days a week until the summer hit. Thank the Lord. But trust me, the number of hours that I worked does not equate, doesn't even come close to what I took off. They aren't even close to each other. I'm making up for it now, even though I'm sick. But at least I'm enjoying it in paradise. Because if you think about it, staying here is a lot cheaper than being in a hospital somewhere on assisted living. Just saying, this is cheaper. People don't look at that. They just think I'm living off the fat of the land or whatever. I really, frankly, don't care. It's my life. And I was thrown into homelessness by a corrupt system, justice system. And I'm living off my blood money from gifts that I was showered with, expecting who knows what. But when you make a commitment to him and the other doesn't want to reciprocate, well, you know how that's going to work for me. He's going to win every time. I'm not making that mistake ever again. Nor should any of you. But it's about time we stop this nonsense once and for all. I'm dying to see what else I had wrote because I frankly don't remember. But it doesn't want to do anything. Hold on. Okay, so I turned off the internet because we've got a storm, so it must be having some glitches, so it's making it a little having hiccups, so it wouldn't open up, but I got it to open up. And when I was talking about this earlier, what I wanted to add, which I put on my Facebook, was if I can survive one suicide attempt, which was provoked by an RX of Xanax, blood clots in my brain, and constant continued poisoning from those in charge, I can survive using my God-given beautiful voice to bring justice to a place I and others call home. I thought that was important to say. I said, no one living in this world should live in fear. No one, if you are living in fear, lay it at the feet of Jesus. Whoops. Trust me, he's fully aware of your nonsense and clearing the path for justice. Yes, he knows what they're doing. I will rage against the dying of the young and for any human that has been harmed by those in charge. I will seek the truth and justice for all, not just for myself like others have suggested me to do. Seriously? WTF? Really? I've been silent long enough, and it's time I continue my quest for justice. My remedies arrived today, which I think I said earlier. So I'll be ready to fight the fight for justice, with God holding my hand and leading the way. After all, God led me here to this resort. He gave me the room of my dreams. I've always wanted to have my bedroom overlooking my swimming pool. Even though that's not my pool, I got it. I got it. So, they're not going to scare me off. I will not move away from paradise because of their constant corruption, including their decoy squad cars. Really? I just arrived over a year ago, and I'm planning on staying here until God calls me home. God had a plan. Why else would I be horizontal so long? Why else would he send me to paradise? Because he knew I would fight by learning as much as I could for warfare. He knew I would fight, just like others out there, using their God-given voices for good. Get your houses in order, people, and sit at the table with Thanksgiving. We win this with him, not them. God is love. We unite in love. And you start by reading this beautiful love letter he left us all. Just saying. It's the easiest thing I can explain. Look around. Look at the roles humans are playing. Let's bring truth and justice out in the open once and for all. That's all we've got left. This is warfare. The truth. The truth will set you free. Just saying. Needs to stop being covered up. Needs to be out in the open. Left all bunches and bunches.